So Fox and Friends has been beating the fear drum about the Immigrant Caravan. Now, that of course is the 5,000 to 7,000 people that are currently marching from Guatemala through Mexico, and a significant number of them may end up at the American border. Now, Fox, along with President Trump, are treating this as if this is the biggest crisis that we're facing. However, independents, they are not buying it. Now, Fox host Steve Doocy had recently interviewed a panel of independent voters and tried to fearmonger about the caravan, and he ended up actually getting nowhere. So first, let's watch that. We've got a couple of clips for you. Let's take a look.
One of the big stories right now is this migrant caravan that is heading toward the United States. Right now, it's north of apparently 7,000 people strong. Just curious, Michael, let's start with you. How big a problem is that the United States has uneven immigration laws?
I think uneven immigration laws are a problem for any country. And I think our immigration laws need to be modernized and updated. But this country is founded on immigration, and all of us come from immigrants.
Sure. So what should the United States do if those 7,000 people, by the time it gets here, it could be 10,000, it could be 20,000. What should the United States do about those people?
This is the mightiest country on the planet. I think we can handle a caravan of people unarmed coming to this country.
So let them in.
And, well, I'm saying to process them properly.
Right.
Now, I love how Doocy is pointing out, it's 7,000 now. It could be 20,000 by the time that they actually get here. Oh my God, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. And the guy's like, and it's not like we're the most powerful country on the face of the planet. I think we can handle some people who are down on their luck and fleeing violence. I love that. Now, look, Doocy might have been a little bit surprised there because that's not how the typical Fox viewer responds to this. Typical Fox viewer would basically at this point be shitting their pants and going, oh my God, the Immigrant Caravan, they're coming, they're going to hurt us all. Did you hear? Did you hear that there are random Middle Eastern people in there? Oh my God, they're terrorists. That's the Fox News reaction. But independents are like, yeah, and they're like, hey, you know what? This is an issue, and we should actually maybe do something about it instead of playing up the fear and, of course, the politics. In fact, the next couple of people mentioned that how this is nothing more than fear-based politics. Let's take a look at that.
That the immigration crisis that we're seeing is a result of the failure of the two Democratic parties to actually engage the issue. Instead, they use it like a partisan football.
Sure.
There's a humanitarian crisis taking place in Central America, and yet this issue gets turned into a complete political football. There's very little honest discussion about what's actually happening. It gets turned into talking points.
And Aaron.
Yeah, treating this as an invasion is a bad idea, and it's going to end horribly if it is treated such as that way. So I think people have to realize, yeah, these are human beings coming here, and there needs to be a real solution.
Independence, man. Thank God. Look, obviously they're seeing past the bullshit talking points. They're like, look, this isn't an invasion. This is two parties playing political football. What are we doing? What are you guys talking about? Like, yes, we will handle this. Stop playing politics and actually come up with goddamn solutions. See, that's why people aren't interested in both, both political parties at this point. Because look, during the Obama administration, we had a chance to actually do something on immigration reform. That was when Democrats had a supermajority in Congress. President Obama, yes, was focused on healthcare reform, which, look, I don't think that was a bad idea to go for healthcare reform, and I think he actually should have went further and really put forward a single-payer healthcare system. But that's a completely other discussion. But he also could have done other things like, hey, guess what? Let's do immigration reform. But they didn't do it. Why? Why didn't they do it? That's a good question. Republicans, right now, they control Congress, and they have a chance. Look, you can say, well, but Democrats, they're going to, block it. No, a lot of Democrats, guaranteed, would probably sign up to help with comprehensive immigration reform. But they're not interested in doing so. Why is that? Well, it's because it's about politics. For some, look, if they do immigration reform, there are people that can no longer do their talking points. If they actually fix problems, then people on the right can't demagogue and turn this into a political issue to basically scare people into coming out during the midterms. I know, right? Their whole plan is to scare the shit out of people so that they come out to vote. Isn't that sad? That's what our system has actually turned into. And look, Democrats also use this as a political issue. There is a reason that independents are pissed off, because we're not actually solving problems when we could. And guess what? We're not going to, as long as we have money in politics. Now, wait a minute, Jeff. What does this have to do with money in politics? That's crazy. Why do you come back to that? Well, it's because this entire theater, and that's what this is. Political theater is basically because the donors want it that way. The donors want cheap labor from undocumented immigrants, people who don't have citizenship. So this is why Democrats would be like, oh, but DACA recipients, so they can come in, and they're not actually citizens that actually don't have a pathway to citizenship, but they can work, and they can work, and they'll pay taxes, but they'll never get anything back for it. Wonderful. Our corporations can make money off these people, and our government can make money off these people, and they'll never get anything back. That's a win-win for us, and kind of a losing proposition for them, right? And so Republicans, of course, want tax cuts, and of course they want corporations to also have cheap labor from undocumented immigrants. Look, Trump, for example, has used, and there are countless examples of Trump using undocumented immigrants to work on his properties. He married an undocumented immigrant at this point. Melania Trump had overstayed her visa. She was undocumented. So, look, that's the truth, right? They all have their political agenda. And when Democrats are in power, they don't do anything because, again, cheap labor from the corporations. And the right uses this to demagogue. Those are the reasons that we are not doing anything about this. Money in politics, the donors run everything. This is all theater, right? And at least the people who are not blinded by partisanship, which independents make up a majority of voters, a majority of this country, I should say, they get it. And Ducey was probably not expecting those answers, but it's good to see that there are still rational people in this country who are more interested in solutions than letting their team win. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.